Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Caesar, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And here we go. This is kind of an interesting thing here. I am answering your questions really without any scripts at all, but I thought about your question. So you want to go from 19 to 22 on the speaking in 30 days, right? And that's why you sent me this message. You say, Michael, I have 1 month to improve my speaking skills from 19 to 22. Can we do that? My TOEFL scores are. Now, giving me your TOEFL scores are very important. So you're like out of the world when it comes to reading. You got 29 points, you got 25 points in the listening, but only 19 points in speaking and 25 on the writing. So for some reason, Caesar, all of your English skills are doing very well except for speaking. Now that is a red flag. A red flag means that's a symptom. That's a symptom of some deeper issue going on with your English language proficiency. So for some reason, you have not been able to improve your speaking at the same rate as the other areas of your academic English proficiency. Now, before I recommend a plan for you and before I answer your question, and you know that I'm honest, I will tell you exactly what I feel. I don't need you to join my course. You can join it if you want, but it's not mandatory. But I will definitely give you some very good advice here, so pay attention, all right? Now, the first step, we need to figure out why you're getting the score you're getting before I can really answer your question, right? So I'm going to go online, and I have some rubrics I've adapted from the actual ETS, and I've kind of explained them in a little bit easier way for my students. So first of all, you're scoring around 19 points, which kind of puts you in the middle, about 2.5, so maybe 2.5 out of 4. And when we look at this, you have at least 2 problems here in your speaking right now. One of them maybe is delivery. It means that you have unclear articulation, awkward intonation, choppy, fragmented, telegraphic, frequent pauses and hesitations. It means that you have problems with pronunciation. Or you could have problems with limited range and control of grammar and vocabulary. So these limitations are preventing you from fully expressing your ideas. So instead of using complex grammar, you're using mostly basic grammar and sentence structures. You express mainly simple ideas, and there's unclear connection among your ideas. Now maybe you have topic development issues. Your response is connected to the task, but the ideas you discuss are limited. In fact, you express mostly basic ideas with limited details and support. At times, you communicate your ideas very unclearly and repetitiously. Connection of ideas are unclear in parts of your response. So these are possible problems you're having right now with your speaking. To further understand your speaking score right now and the potential problems you're having, I now am referring to the integrated speaking rubrics that I've adapted from ETS. So again, you're in the 2.5 range, so you'll see a pattern here. Again, delivery issues, probably unclear articulation, intonation, or choppy, fragmented, telegraphic, frequent pauses. So we already know that from the independent one. Now another problem is maybe limited control and range of grammar vocabulary, and these limitations prevent you from fully expressing your ideas. Again, we've already learned this from the independent speaking rubrics. Now in the last one, your response conveys related information from the task, but is clearly incomplete or inaccurate. Now, that means that you might be missing some important points from some of the reading or the listening passages that you're completing. Now, maybe you've omitted an idea, maybe from the lecture, or maybe you misunderstand some ideas, or again, you're having trouble connecting your ideas together. So these are some of the problems that you're having right now. Now, here's my advice. Here is kind of my assessment. This is what you're asking me. The question is, can you solve these issues in 30 days. The question is, if most of the issues involve delivery issues that you're having right now, and you're also having significant language issues, it's going to be tough. If most of the problems right now are simply topic development, you simply need to organize ideas better and more fully develop your points, that's an easier problem. It just depends on what kinds of issues that you have. All right, so let's go back to here. So can you do it in 30 days, right? Really, that's the question. And I'm going to say right now, my guess is 40% chance out of 100 that you can solve all these issues in 30 days. The good thing is, really, is at least you don't need to get 26, right? That's the good news. The bad news is a lot of your problems are serious and they're basic when it comes to pronunciation and grammar and vocabulary, and you may not be able to work out all these issues in just 30 days. Remember, it's not just about speaking. Here, you're trying to improve your pronunciation, and that involves understanding how to pronounce and articulate the vowel and consonant sounds of American English. It also means you need to do better when it comes to syllable division and grammatical word endings. You need to improve your word stress, sentence rhythm, intonation, and also thought groups and blending. It's complicated, isn't it? Now, if it comes to language use and you're having problems with limited grammar or vocabulary, that means that you need to improve in both of those areas, and that also takes time. You see what I'm doing? So here are my recommendations. I have more or less a plan that I think is going to help you. Now, number one, I think take my diagnostic pronunciation pre-test right away after you join my course, and then send me pronunciation practice every other day. This is all part of your subscription fee. So I recommend do pronunciation practice every other day. That means half of your speaking practice right now should be focused on improving your delivery. I think that's going to be important. So after you do the diagnostic pre-test, Caesar, I will tell you specific lessons I think you need to improve on, and then you'll start completing the voice recording exercises at the end of those lessons. You'll send me those things and I will give you feedback. So that's number one. Number two, go through the listening and the reading lessons in my course. I think that's important. So as you're doing the listening and the reading practice, I want you to take notes. You can use your notes, of course, to answer the comprehension questions, but that's not the most important thing. You should use your notes to speak about the listening and the reading passages, right? I recommend 60-second voice recordings, and you should record yourself and save those files so you can listen to them later on. Now, you don't need to send me this kind of speaking practice, but you still need to get more comfortable speaking about listening and reading passages. Now, number three, you should start sending me independent and integrated speaking practice. I'm going to say every other day. So let's say here, let's look at the week for a minute. We got Monday, Tuesday, we got Wednesday, we have Thursday, we have Friday, we have Saturday, we have Sunday. Let's put Sunday at the beginning. Now what I'm saying is Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, those days I recommend you do more pronunciation practice. Then you can have Monday, Wednesday, and maybe Friday, you're doing more speaking, independent and integrated speaking practice. So you should be focusing half of the week you're sending me pronunciation practice, half of the week you're doing speaking practice by completing practice tests. And remember, you can use the practice test currently in my course. I have about 300 independent speaking topics right now. Now, integrated speaking, I'm more limited. I have about 20 topics there. So if you have some integrated speaking topics from YouTube, you can complete those and then send those to me. If you have a TOEFL book, you can also do those. Right? Number four, keep a journal. You should keep a journal. And in that journal, I want you to focus when I give you comments, I want you to put the comments into three areas. Number one is pronunciation. So specifically, what types of pronunciation issues are you having? And I will tell you that. Number two, the next part of your journal should focus on language use, which is either grammar or vocabulary. Maybe I give you a comment and say, you know what, your verb tenses are all over the place. You need to study verb tenses more. Write that down, then study that. And I'll also give you comments in topic development. So the purpose of the journal is to begin recording specifically what kinds of problems you're having in your speaking in those 3 categories. Now, I think this is really good advice for you. Now, my 5th thing is you can watch TV and movies. I think that's good. The main goal with point number 5, Caesar, is to get more exposure to the English. Your ears need to hear more English. I'm telling you. The more you hear gradually, you can begin to reduce your accent, and you will get better and better and better. So watch TV and movies. I think that's also an important step that will also help you to reduce your accent. So my advice to you, Caesar, is to at least do these 5 things. If you do these 5 things for a month, and each day you're spending maybe 2 to 3 hours, right, following these steps, I'm going to say you have a 40% chance out of 100 of reaching your goal in 30 days. That would be my analysis based on the problems that you're having. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying that you can do it. My best guess, I've been teaching TOEFL now for about 25 years. I've been teaching online now for 4 or 5 years. I have a pretty good idea of the kinds of improvements students make. And like I said in the beginning of the video, it depends on what kinds of problems you're having right now. If they're delivery and language use problems, these are very stubborn and they take time to improve. You can do it, you will do it. The question is, can you do all of this in 30 days? That's what you're asking me. And to conclude the video, I say 40% chance. All right, Caesar? So thank you very much for your email and your question or your comment on my website. I hope that this video has given you some ideas about what it takes and what you have to do to reach your goals. So all the best to your high-scoring speaking success.